Playboi Carti was charged for the crimes in his lyrics.
I just killed it. Yeah, I swear I'm counting cash.
Since it's not clear whether the murder Carti was referring to was premeditated or not, I'm going to call this second-degree murder.
Ever since my brother died, I've been thinking about homicide.
Thinking about homicide would be classified as conspiracy to commit murder.
I had the nigga shake Ola for 5.
This crime would be considered murder for hire, but since Ola is still alive currently, the event was not fatal, lessening the sentence for Carti.
Give me a out. I just rock the show on some motherfucking show.
Possession or use of psilocybin mushrooms can result in a sentence of up to 1 year in prison and a fine of $1,000.
I said I don't fuck with these niggas. We see them punching them niggas.
Threatening to punch someone when you see them could be considered conspiracy to commit a violent crime. In this case, the violent crime would be assault, and the sentencing for conspiracy could not exceed the maximum possible punishment for assault. A G6 refers to a type of MDMA pill pressed with the characters G and 6 on its reverse side. Simple possession or use of MDMA is a state felony.
Selling cocaine, just like the 80s.
Being convicted of selling cocaine or cocaine base would give you 3 or 4 years in state prison, with crack cocaine convictions being a year longer. Molly is another name for MDMA or ecstasy, which is illegal to use or possess.
I'm robbing the bank.
The maximum sentence for robbery or burglary from a bank is 20 years.
I'm serving that base.
Base is another name for freebase cocaine, and serving implies that Carti was selling it.
Nigga try to play me, I'ma make him bleed.
Verbally threatening someone could result in a Class C misdemeanor with a charge of assault.
I'm on the X, I'm on the codeine.
X is yet another nickname for the drug ecstasy, which is illegal to use or possess. Codeine, however, can technically be prescribed to someone, so it won't be counted as a crime by the off chance that Carti got it prescribed to him. As I mentioned, Molly is illegal, but Percocet can technically be prescribed to someone, so it won't be counted as a crime.
I just seen that bitch at the airport. I smoked that bitch like Newport.
The slang definition of smoke means to kill someone with a firearm.
I got the cocaine.
Cocaine possession is punishable by up to a year in jail. Certain circumstances can raise this case up to 3 years, but I'm going to stay on the lower end.
Swear to God, if I told that bitch, I'ma hit that butt. You come around by my game, we gon' let them bullets fly.
A conviction for felony criminal threats such as shooting someone can be punished by up to 3 years in prison.
Bitch, I'm not a stalker. But baby, I always watch you.
Always watching over someone would be considered stalking, and a misdemeanor charge of stalking is punishable by imprisonment in a county jail up to 1 year and or by a fine of up to $1,000.
Push up, bitch, little bitch, put up, and I'm taking shit. Ain't no reason then.
It's unclear what Carti took or stole from whoever he was referring to, so I'm going to call this crime petty theft. Most petty theft convictions will fall under a state's misdemeanor laws, which typically carry a maximum penalty of up to 1 year in jail.
Got X in the lane.
Like I stated, X is another name for the drug ecstasy, which is illegal to use or possess, and lean is another name for codeine, which can technically be prescribed to someone, so it won't be counted as a crime.
We ride around, we started riots.
Inciting a riot is punishable by extensive fines and or imprisonment for up to 5 years.
We robbed the bank cause we want profit. I guess it eat, I guess it.
E is yet another nickname for ecstasy, which is illegal to use or possess.
I guess it matters, shot it with me. Take off your head and we move the bitch.
Taking off someone's head is murder, and removing their head would also be considered mutilation, but since the person would already be dead, I'll count it as mutilation of a corpse.
I so fucking high, I might crash.
Driving while high is a criminal offense that can result in license suspension of 90 days to a year, fines ranging from about $500 to $2,000, substance abuse treatment, a term of probation, and up to a year in jail, but the jail time is not very common.
Try this rock star, put some money on your way.
Putting money on someone is another way to phrase placing a bounty on someone. Solicitation of a crime such as murder is a felony and carries up to 9 years in prison and a fine of up to $10,000.
We shoot at these niggas, no popping back. I'm hitting that trigger, I'm off of that.
Carti mentioned shooting at multiple people, but he never stated that any of them died, meaning that he would be charged with multiple counts of assault with a firearm, which carries a sentence of up to 4 years in county jail and a fine of up to $10,000. Since it is not known how many people he was referring to, I'll go on the low end and say 2.
Shoot at that bitch, we shoot at his camp.
This is another assault with a firearm charge like the last crime, and shooting at a camp of people could be a large group of people, but to be safe, I'll just double the charges of the last lyric.
My shooter gon' shoot you yet.
Threatening to rob someone would be considered a felony criminal threat.
Watch me pull up, take your chain, little bitch. Watch me suck your bitch. Watch me thrash that bitch.
Since it is unknown how badly the person was injured by Carti, I'll call this simple battery, which permits up to 6 months in a county jail and or a fine of up to $2,000.
Got me mad shit, so I slap the bitch. All that money, take your loot. In the trap, we selling crack.
Crack is the only drug that carries a mandatory first offense prison sentence. A person convicted of possession or sale of crack automatically receives a 5-year prison term and a minimum $1,000 fine.
I got red shooters, I got blue. Let that thing down and point at you.
Pointing a gun at someone would generally be considered a misdemeanor assault with a firearm, which is punishable by 6 months to 1 year in county jail.
We gon' ride a bang, bring the loop. I'm in the bitch, I'm in the bricks, I'm in the ash. I got that white, I got that dope, I got that ash.
Here, Carti uses multiple different references to cocaine. Cocaine possession is punishable by up to 3 years, and since Carti stated that he had bricks of it, he'd likely get a sentence on the higher end.
45 clip the beam, bam, hit a little boy for the fall.
Assault with a non-generic firearm can carry a state prison sentence of up to 12 years.
We kill them boy right here, right in the trap.
It is unclear how many people Carti claims to have killed, but I'll go on the low end and say 2.
I'm the shot side and I'm weighing the crack. Chopper won't miss a nigga. 100-round drum, kill everybody.
It is likely that Carti would receive the death penalty for mass murder.
Put some money on your head, I sell your ass for 10. Hitting that boy at the 5, ooh, nigga that nourish me. Running from a up, and I shoot that up. I didn't know my sock, selling that re-rock.
Re-rock is made by cooking cocaine back into crack rock form after it has been cut apart by a cutting agent. This means Carti was selling crack based on this lyric.
Running from the cop, shooting at the ops.
Evading an officer carries a possible sentence of up to 1 year in county jail, as well as a fine of up to $1,000. When an officer is the victim of an assault crime, the offense automatically is considered aggravated assault, meaning that Carti would also be charged with aggravated assault on an officer for shooting at them.
Hit on with a drone, ooh, they gon' feel this shit. Ooh. Driving like I'm drone, ooh, but I'm off that lane. Ooh. Bitch, I'm off the lean, I crashed the Audi. Fuck. Sand purse, Molly, we got hella things.
Xanax and Percocets can technically be prescribed, so I'll only count Molly as a crime from this lyric.
Shooting at these niggas like I'm in the paint.
It isn't specified how many people Carti was referring to shooting at, so I'll go on the low end and say 2.
I'm with a joke, got that pack, going for the low. Sell a P, sell it O, sell it for the low.
P is a slang term for methamphetamine, and O likely refers to an ounce of drugs. Getting caught with less than 5 grams of meth with intent to distribute and sell could result in a prison sentence of up to 20 years, but that's if you're caught with an extremely high amount, so I'll go right in the middle since it's unspecified.
Hit him with the pump, leave him in the trunk.
Hitting someone with a pump would be considered assault with a firearm, and leaving them in a trunk would be false imprisonment.
Beat a nigga ass, leave a nigga alone.
The part where Carti stated that he left the victim lumped would likely raise the severity of his battery sentence from simple to aggravated.
I put the crack in the jaw, yo. Spend $250,000 on Molly.
Possessing over $250,000 worth of Molly would almost certainly give you the maximum felony conviction for ecstasy possession.
We gon' hit him with that stick. Hello, nigga, what the roof? What? Fuck little nigga, fuck a nigga up.
Carti saying that he fucked someone up implies that he left them badly injured, making this charge aggravated battery.
Riding nigga for rapper dope.
The circumstances of Carti's robbery are unknown, so I'll go easier on him and call it second-degree robbery, which has a sentencing of up to 5 years in a state prison and/or fines of up to $10,000.
Ray Allen, I should've. I'm taking your shit, you college kid. Keep that pole on me, I might just blam, yo. I go 730, ho.
730 is a term meaning crazy that originates from the 730 motion, which is a court process to examine a defendant's mental state to see if they're fit to stand trial. If Carti successfully pleaded the insanity defense, then he would not receive the normal sentencing for his crimes, and instead would be committed to a state mental hospital.